Hello, everybody. I'm just going to do a quick sound check here. John, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. We're going to get started. Good afternoon, and welcome to the Sustainable Materials Management Webinar Series, a joint effort between the National Recycling Coalition and the Pennsylvania Recycling Market Center. My name is Wayne Bowen. I'm the Program Manager for the Market Center and will serve as your moderator today. We'd like to extend a special thanks to Bob Hollis of the Mobius Network for providing the webinar management software for this series, and Lisa Ruggiero and Savannah Petkowski of the National Recycling Coalition for assisting the RMC with webinar promotion and technical support. Today's webinar provides an overview of some of the newer products and technologies that have been introduced recently into the waste and recycling industry that can improve productivity and sustainability efforts. Our presenter today is John Casey, who I will introduce in a moment. Following his presentation, we will conduct a question and answer session. If you have a question or comment, please use the GoToWebinar dialog box located in the control panel of your screen. You may also use the dialog box to request assistance if you're experiencing technical difficulties during the webinar. Please note that an edited version of this webinar will be made available for viewing via YouTube links on the National Recycling Coalition and PA Recycling Market Center websites. And now I'd like to introduce our presenter. John Casey has been a writer for lead publications of Palatine Bridge, New York since 1998 and became editor of the company's construction magazines, Waste Handling Equipment News, aka WEN, North American Quarry News, and Hard Hat News in 2009. Since then, John has devoted his efforts to providing end-user content for readers in the waste handling industry, primarily wood waste, construction demolition waste, scrap metal, and concrete and asphalt recycling. WEN focuses on the equipment and the people that use it and tries not to be overly technical on its approach, since it is the sales representative's jobs for these various manufacturers to provide the relevant technical information that any particular customer desires. WEN's primary mission is to work with product manufacturers and service companies to help them tell their stories from their customers' point of view. Please note that the National Recycling Coalition and the Pennsylvania Recycling Market Center does not endorse the individual vendors, products, or services that will be mentioned in this presentation. Okay, John, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, well, thank you, Wayne. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this presentation. As he mentioned, I'm John Casey, and today we're going to take a quick look at several of the newer products that have been introduced recently into the waste recycling industry. And while some or all of this technology might not be new to many of you, quite a few of these have been new for me, and so that's why I've decided to choose these particular products. My main focus as editor, as he mentioned, is to gather articles on recycling equipment and the companies that own them. And I usually don't specialize in marketing trends or the actual actuarial side of the industry, but more about the people that operate the equipment. As I progress through my presentation today, I want to emphasize that I don't specifically endorse any particular make or brand of equipment. And as he said, I've found over the years that the owner's success is often based on the relationship that they have with their suppliers and after the sales service. I rarely feature software items in our publications because neither I nor any of my staff members have the technical ability to review how well a software program will work in any given situation. So the only time I will run a press item that features a software product is when it comes from a highly reputable source and is supported by such companies as Caterpillar, John Deere, or any other major supplier. Generally speaking, the following equipment review is presented alphabetically by brand or topic. So let's begin. The first piece of equipment is the CBI AirMax, and I saw this static display at this year's Compost 2016 event in Jacksonville, Florida. CBI's literature says that this unit was designed to be an efficient alternative to air knife separators. It's designed primarily to separate C and D material, and owners would be interested in separating heavy and light material of that kind, auto shredding applications for non-ferrous light separation, plastic shredding, to separate non-ferrous metals and plastic, and this could be used in compost facilities where wood rock or wood plastic separation is needed as well. Power requirements are 4 electric motors totaling 32 horsepower, and these power the feed conveyor, lights conveyor, drum assembly, and the blower that you see there. And I did talk to the representative there, and I have a tentative appointment to do a site visit on this piece of equipment later on in the year. So that would be something to watch for. The next item is the Dopstat splitter, and this separation technology was introduced mid-year last year when Dopstat took over the sales of the splitter separation technology from Anlagenbau Günther, a German company. But now under the Dopstat label, I received a press release on June the 6th, actually, to say of this year, to say that the company made its first sale to a recycler in Russia. So it took them a year to get this product sold once they took over the technology. As you can see, the splitter spiral shaft separation technique moves material across the upper surface with smalls falling through to the area below. For the material separation of the Russian buyer, the usable material is 100 millimeters, which is about 4 inches. Undersized material then falls through and goes to a landfill. The next topic is drones. And drone technology has become an innovative way of mapping and inventory control, more specifically in the quarry industry. However, there are some uses or considerations that could be done here in our recycling industry. In this photo, you'll see Tyler Holloway of Benchmark Tool and Supply as he talks to visitors at Ag 1 earlier this spring. And as I went around there and asked several of the suppliers at this event if they had any clients that were in the recycling industry at this time, none of them were aware of any who were regularly using drone technology. Later this year, I talked to Ted Dirks of Vermeer, and he was at the expo in Richmond, and he recalled one large company, Harvest Power, that he recalled them using a drone for stockpile inventory mapping, but he too agreed that they're not widely used in his experience, as much so as they are in the quarry industry. The unit shown here, the price without camera runs about $8,500. So if someone wants to acquire one of these, it is a transaction that needs some consideration. The camera that's used on this particular model is a Panasonic. It's a Lumix GH4 digital camera, so it would give a drone of this kind excellent optical quality if you're looking for high-res photography to do your mapping. This Leica drone system was on display at the 2015 Ag 1. And as one might imagine, the initial cost of buying a drone of this size and capability could be cost prohibitive for many private owners. Mapping service companies or a recycler who's looking for inventory control at a number of locations could possibly justify the cost of owning one of these systems. But with the FAA rules now playing a part in drone ownership, some potential purchasers have relied on drone mapping services rather than purchasing a system on their own. In a conversation with this fellow here, I found that to own this system here would be over $50,000. So you would need to have a sizable number of sites in order to really make something like this a worthwhile investment, I would think, anyway. Casspi Drones is a name that has become visible, and here Colin Fulton of Casspi talks to a visitor at their exhibit at the Ag 1 this year. Casspi has become a familiar name in drone technology. A lot of it has to do with their advertising, but more and more people are using it, actually. national drone service providers like DroneView Technologies, they have offices in Michigan, New York, Texas, and Arizona, offer drones for hire. They will also do drone training and related services for people who want to acquire their own drones. And as Wayne and I were talking about this earlier, there are possibilities for using this as far as landfill measurement and observation and daily photography and ways to help prevent litigation and that sort of thing. And there are lower cost models, smaller, more personal sized drones like this one. They're more affordable for the hobbyist or business that may simply want aerial photography or the ability to do more with added software. This one's outfitted with a GoPro camera, and this unit from Benchmark might be just what the average user might be interested in purchasing. As you can see, they've got it priced there at $1169. There are FAA regulations that require drones over 0.55 pounds up to 55 pounds to be registered. So this is a page from the guidelines from the FAA to show you whether or not your particular device needs to be registered with them. And in this document there are several pages similar to this with various sizes of drones that can give you an idea of whether or not you need to register it. The website's given at the bottom of the page, so if you would need to refer to this in the future, you certainly have that opportunity. Here's another version of a drone. This is Adam Zilka of SenseFly, and his company's drones are primarily used for mapping, surveying, and agricultural applications. Various software technologies work with these high-tech tools to offer a variety of uses for companies who are looking for drones. This was also taken at Ag 1. And here is a fixed-wing drone. The EB mapping and planning drone is a fully autonomous winged drone that is pre-programmed before flight with a laptop and will overfly an area, do the pre-planned mapping regimen, and will then return to where it was launched. So there are some online videos of this that are really interesting to watch. And while in the instances that it shows online were done primarily for crop mapping and that sort of thing, I think with in the coming months and years, the software will be devised where industries like the waste handling equipment and landfills and composting facilities, that sort of thing, will have the capability to use them with success in their environment as well. In this instance, the winged unit is made from styrofoam and plastic. It's extremely lightweight, and the Sequoia camera is a multispectral unmanned aerial system camera that's designed to work with the winged drone for accurate infrared or other photo needs. So there is a lot of flexibility in the kind of information that drones can supply. The next item is complete systems. I know some of the folks that are possibly listening in here have total MRF and MSW packages already in place. Erie's recently sent out this press release to suggest that they have a complete package that includes magnetic separators, eddy current separators, and metal loss monitoring equipment. And they say that their equipment is particularly suited for MRF, MSW installations, and it includes a suspended self-cleaning magnet, suspended permanent magnets, AIP magnetic pulleys, the REV XE eddy current separator, and metal loss monitors. Needless to say, some recyclers would prefer to customize their own individual systems, and so using a variety of brands to accomplish your own needs certainly is something that would be understandable. We recently did a story in Waste Handling Equipment News in July of last year on Vanderland Recycling in Charlottesville, who did that very thing. He did the research and found all the various components that he was looking for to satisfy his needs, and even had some of the equipment, like the huge trommel that he had to tear open the plastic bags made by McCloskey. So there is a lot of flexibility when it comes to total packages like this. Portable separation equipment is something that's gaining popularity. The Airlift Separator is one of the first portable separators that I witnessed in action. Their plastic removal systems work in tandem with a customer's trommel or screen to remove plastic and other lightweight material from compost. It can also be used for removing paper from glass. This was taken a couple of years back at a Vermeer event here in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, where I reside, and this demonstrated how this particular device worked in screening the compost that you see there, and it did quite a good job. The vacuuming hoses are placed directly above the discharge chute, and in this case it was a trommel, and the light material is vacuumed away from the compost and blown into those disposable cloth bags that you saw. In June 2011, I did a story on Ned Foley's 2 particular acres as a feature that he had recently taken on an airlift separator and used it for removing lights from his composted material, and it worked quite well in his environment as well. He discharged directly into a dumpster where he could just haul it away. Comtech, this is the Comtech Hurricane Wind Sifter. It's another example of a device designed to remove light material like paper and plastic from recycled wood. As many of you already know, there are a number of brands in today's marketplace of equipment like this. This unit is similar to the Airlift Separator. However, this is a more self-contained style with a pressure suction design for removing light material. The mobile Hurricane Wind Sifter allows effective separation of plastic foils out from oversized screened material. The patented pressure suction process enables an effective separation of light fraction from screening residues. In the first step, material is separated off by a pressure blower that actually blows down on the material as it passes by. In the second step, the lightweight material is drawn off by a suction blower. The performance is adjustable to the material that you're using or treating by varying the blower speeds, blower distance, and the vent flaps on the unit. The quality of the recycled oversized particles can be improved yet further by using magnetic separation and a stone trap, which are options to this piece of equipment. In this case, while lights are being removed from the product stream from above, rolling particles are allowed to be discharged from the second conveyor on the left, the one you see on the left there, and they fall down and are discharged below the unit. Similar item from Comtech, well, this is the other side of that piece of equipment. As you can see here, they're discharging it right into a rollaway container as well, which is kind of handy when you're processing a lot of material, especially. Another item from Comtech is the HERFX, and this is a new product. It was introduced last year, and it's for composting and composters who find that not only plastics are a nuisance in their finished products, but that there are a lot of stones as well. The Comtech HERFX is a machine that's designed to remove both. Unlike the Hurricane Wind Sifter, this unit is able to clean compost and biomass, removing stones and light material like plastic film all in one pass. It claims an efficiency of 95%. The unit's powered by an onboard diesel-electric generator that powers all of the HERFX's electric motors. And the unit is also capable of being hooked to a grid for electric power whenever that's available if you want to have it in a more stationary environment. The next item that was fairly new to me is this particular brand of Starscreen. The Neuenhauser Super Screener was on display at Compost 2016 this year, and as with some other equipment, there are several models of Starscreens available in the marketplace. This was the first time I'd seen this brand in operation, however, but apparently the brand has been sold in the United States for the past few years. This particular model, the 3F, was introduced in the U.S. in April of 2014. Starscreens have become popular for screening mulch, compost, and topsoil. They're especially helpful when screening heavy, sticky, or wet material. The unit shown here is outfitted with a wind sifter that gives the 3F Super Screener 4 screen fractions rather than the 3 that you would normally get from this unit. The next item that I'm presenting is something that I just heard about. Probably doesn't have a whole lot to do with the industry as such at this point, but this item on my list is the Pegasus backpack mapping system from Leica. I sat in on a webinar from them on May 26th when this product was introduced. So the adaptability of this product into the waste handling industry is still undecided in my mind. However, it's such a cool device that I wanted to share it with all of you to see. I don't know a lot about this device. However, there are videos that are online that give you a better understanding. In many of the applications, there were situations where the wearer is able to put on the device, walk around inside and outside a building or in an underground tunnel, and the equipment software provides a 3D pictorial representation of the surroundings. As I said, I'm not certain that this would be useful for stockpile inventory in the same way that drone aerial mapping is, but this product is amazing just the same. It uses GPS in conjunction with photo and infrared sensors to provide simultaneous location and mapping, or what they call SLAM information. And it offers a full spatial context, so there's no limitations on the locations that this can be used. Any arbitrary location can be measured because no spatial context is needed as a beginning point. The unit seen here is the fusion of GPS, IMU, and SLAM technology. On the top of the backpack, the global GNSS/GPS triple band all constellations Novatel span unit can be seen. And just below that, and pointing outwardly, the white circle is a laser scanner that detects 700,000 points per second. So it can give a detailed schematic drawing of buildings or underground or any place that the user needs to map. The unit has a 5 CCD camera and automatic light sensor exposure control for visual recording even in total darkness. It uses onboard lighting when needed. So it's pretty remarkable. It's not unlike the technology that's actually being used to operate self-driving cars and that sort of thing, drone technology, and it's all kind of coming together in various forms. So I just thought this was really pretty interesting. This system is a system that was on hand at Compost 2016 on their demonstration day, but I was unable to, because of the rain that was falling, I wasn't able to get a good a good shot of it, but this is the Load Scan Volumetric Measuring System. It's fairly new, and it offers the ability to scan the contents of open trucks, providing measurements of volume and weight. From their website, I read the following. The standard block-molded LVS configuration represented in the diagram is designed for use with on-road trucks and small off-highway articulated dump trucks. Alternative solutions are available for mobile and portable systems, larger off-highway haul trucks, underground mine trucks, and other applications. Vehicles are scanned by driving slowly below the elevated scan head. The scanning process is fully automated, so a touchscreen operator console provides an easy control and monitoring of the system, and a high visibility LED message board displays load results. Driver instructions and status messages can also be found there. An option for this is the ticket printer, which can help make the transition go more smoothly. But this technology is currently in use in the quarry industry, and certainly because of it having volumetric capability, would be ideal for loads of mulch and compost that are going out in tractor-trailer loads. So that's an interesting new technology from LoadScan. Next are recirculating crushers. There are several brands of circulating crushers in the marketplace, and this is one example, the McCloskey J45R. It's a recent addition to their line of portable crushing machines, and in the application shown, the crusher is used to recycle concrete. It's outfitted with the recycling screen that returns the initial crushed material, oversized aggregates, back to the in-feed hopper. There's a conveyor on the far side of the unit. In this scenario, the throughput is a 2A material that's used as a sub-base aggregate. With the recirculating screen in operation, additional screening is not needed when only one primary product is desired, which is often the case when you're dealing with recycling concrete. If the operator doesn't want to recirculate the product, then you can take the return conveyor and extend it to the side to allow for another sized material. The unit that's shown here is the first one in use in the eastern U.S. according to McCloskey. And I just received a press release this morning from McCloskey saying that they're going to have this particular unit on display at Hillhead in England later this month. So it is still quite new, and they are promoting it around the world. This is a similar device. The return conveyors are a little more visible. What's new about this is that it's the brand Robster Recycling. This hybrid crusher is designed for either diesel or electric power. One of the features of the Robster crusher line is the ability for the user to change the crushing chamber from an impactor that you see here to a jaw crusher within 3 or 4 hours. The version here is shown with the optional RS-114 screen box and the RB95 return belt. And this Austrian crusher line was introduced to the U.S. At ConAg in 2011. However, it's still primarily available only in the East. And I have yet to see one in action other than in demonstrations like this. But the novelty of being able to swap out your crushers is a pretty interesting concept. And as I say, all you need is a crane and 2 men, and you can do that in about 4 hours. So you could save a lot of money by not having to have a secondary crusher on hand if you want to do something in that way. A similar product from Terex Finlay. This is an impactor with the recycling screen. It's another example of the one-pass recycling. This demonstration was in Baltimore, and like the previous McCloskey unit, the onboard screen box moves the oversized material back to the in-feed hopper for recrushing. With the added recirculating screen, increased production is the expected result. And there's a view of the other side where the overs are going back up to the in-feed hopper, and can put out some pretty good production. Usually on demonstrations like this, they don't have these things operating at full capacity because of the dust and all the noise and so forth that goes along with that, but they are quite capable machines. Another new product from Moly Magnetics is the Stoker mill. Earlier this month, Moly Magnetics announced that they'll be marketing the Stoker mill downstroke baler. And it says that these vertical balers are ideal for reducing volume of paper, cardboard, plastic, PE and PET bottles, and other packaging materials. The balers are equipped with a tying and ejection system, and they can be outfitted for automatic compaction cycling. Moly Magnetics is also offering other Stoker mill products, including single shaft pre-shredders, wire strippers, wire granulators, and vibration tables. So they're venturing off from not only offering magnetic attachments and magnetic products, but they're also getting into the baler market. This is another company, Pronar Equipment Line. They were introduced to the U.S. at Ag1 earlier this year. Pronar is a Polish company based in Nehru, Poland, and they offer not only a line of portable crushers and screen plants, but they also offer a line of trommels and mobile low-speed shredders like the one shown here. While they're widely recognized in Poland and Middle Eastern Europe, they're a new entrant to the U.S. market. Currently, they offer 4 sizes of trommels and the 2.85 mobile slow-speed shredder that you see shown here. This is a little tub grinder that I saw at Expo Richmond, which is a timber-based expo, but you know, with the crossing over of several of the components from the timber industry into the waste handling industry, I thought this was kind of interesting. It kind of solidified in my mind that a lot of equipment is more regional than we might think. This is a Precision Husky is the brand, and it's been in business since 1964. And the first time I saw one of these was just a few weeks ago. Husky has a full line of sawmill and logging equipment, and they offer 10 models of pro grind, tub, and horizontal grinders. And I have yet to see one of these in the waste industry in my travels. However, that doesn't mean that it isn't available there. The original company bought Husky Hydraulics in 1986, and the recycling equipment division of the Toro Company in 1998. And since then, the company's continued to grow. And this was a new find to me, so I found it to be something that I could include in this presentation just to make people aware of the various brands of equipment that are out there. This is a tub grinder, but they also make a horizontal line as well. For those that are involved using attachments of various kinds, the Rototilt product line was on display earlier this year at the Hard Hat Expo in Syracuse, New York, and they were introducing their tilt rotators, and then they also had their compactors and their grapples on hand as well. It's a Swedish company, and they've been in operation in the Nordic countries and Europe for over 30 years. However, while they have done business in the United States for the past 15, they're really endeavoring to make inroads into the U.S. market with their Rototilt coupler, which is this device that offers all sorts of flexibility for excavator operation. So the gentleman on the left there told me that virtually all the excavators in Sweden have one of these on there as an attachment because of the usefulness that they have. The tilt rotator is designed for continuous 360 degree rotation, and it's able to tilt to a maximum of 40 degrees in any direction. The quick coupling feature is designed to where tilt rotators grapple and with other conventional excavator attachments. This would be especially helpful for C&D recyclers who need additional flexibility when operating excavators during demolition projects, or for recyclers who are cleaning up wood waste following storms and hurricanes. This is what, I'm sorry to stammer here, the Pelak portable screen technology has been taken on by the Terex company, and this is the Terex Finlay version of this screen technology. The screening technology from Pelak has been available in Europe for decades, but more recently Terex Finlay, Terex Environmental Equipment, and Terex Power Screen have joined with Pelak to offer their optional 3D combi flip flow screen box, and we'll see more of that in a minute, that's interchangeable with the standard screen that comes on these portable units. And in this case, it's the Finlay 883 Plus portable portable screen plant. At the heart of the screen is a 2-deck Pelak designed and constructed high-performance recycling waste screen with flip-flow screen elastica. The unique step-top design combined with state-of-the-art flip-flow technology on the bottom deck makes the 883 Pelak a new option for screening difficult materials. And its processing capabilities and application flexibility make the machine the only all-in-one mobile solution for the processing and separation of recycling materials such as incineration slag, shredder light and heavy fractions, scrap metal, electronic scrap, C&D waste, C&I waste, bulky waste, compost, plastic fractions, which you'll see here, biomass, topsoil, and that sort of thing. And that same screen box is available too on the Terex environmental equipment line, which has reintroduced itself to the U.S. Earlier this year with the acquisition of CBI, Continental Biomass. So they've got a working agreement with them and are making a dedicated effort to expanding their product line in the U.S. as well. And this particular screen unit is very similar in makeup to the Finlay model, as you can see. At the earlier demonstration where you had the Finlay system in place, these are photos of the material that was being sorted with that unit. I had planned to show a video, but the video wouldn't seem to run. So I will be providing some YouTube site links to for any of those of you who would like to see it in operation. The photo on the left shows the material stockpile that's been composting for a number of months. It was a huge mountain of bagged yard waste, as you can see there. The material on the right is the composted material that was collected from the stockpile on the left once the bags have been broken and opened. So for the demonstration purposes, they took that stuff on the left, broke open all the bags, and then put it in a pile over on the right. The upper deck of the screen is as they call it, a 3D. They call it a blockage-free screening on the upper 3D screen deck, and they the material says that it guarantees accurate screening with no long pieces passing into the middle grade below. From the second deck, you'll see in a minute, the finest material passes through, and the middle sized is discharged from the second deck. Material on the upper deck flows down with smaller material falling through, and since the screen box is vibrating in the direction that moves the material down the slope, the larger and lighter material is flipped with the tubular fingers at the end of each section, and that moves it on to the discharge conveyor at the far end on the left. In this application, the Finlay 883 Plus was outfitted with a 3.5 inch by 5 inch steel top deck plunge plate, and it's a design that helps wet and straining material flow across it without hanging up in it. Smaller material is free to descend to the second deck. When conditions warrant, a rubber 3D punch plate is available for materials where a small amount of additional screen deck vibration on that top deck would help keep the material flowing more effectively. The modular panels, 5 rows of 4 panels each, make the upper deck punch plates easy to change. And this is what the lower deck looks like. The lower second deck features the flip flow screen elastica in contrast to the 3D deck above. The second deck features live framed flip flow rubber screens that operate 180 degrees out of phase with the box, so that the counter motion agitation creates a flipping of material for more thorough screening. This flip flow technique keeps sticky wet material moving across the screen with effective results. Flow rates will depend upon the speed of the operation and amounts loaded into the in-feed hopper. With the appropriate screen setup, it'll even work with concrete and brick for people that want to produce sand as a final end product. This is the material that's discharged from the second pass. At this demonstration, they actually took this material and put it back into the in-feed hopper and ran it through again to get more of the plastic and wood debris out of there. This is a photo of the plastic as it came out of the discharge end off the top deck. That's my foot there to give you an idea of what it looks like. It was pretty thorough in its cleaning. And there's a picture of the fines product that went through that bottom flip flow screen that was discharged and is ready to market as an excellent composted material right there. This is what the top deck looks like after the material had run across it. And to my thinking, that was pretty impressive, considering how moist and how yucked up with plastic and stuff that material actually was. There's what the bottom deck looks like after the material had gone across. These are the websites, YouTube links that you can go to see that in better demonstration, and there's even one there that's a animated version that gives you even a more clear look at how it actually operates. And that's a little closer look at the Pelak screen box. They also offer a line. Pelak also offers a line of stationary indoor equipment for industry that is something that isn't covered here, but they do have that as well. My last item, well, I said we don't do software. One of the trends when I asked Ted Dirks about what's trending in recycling equipment these days, right now, the main thing that's going on is, aside from Tier 4 implementation, is telemetrics. And the waste recycling industry is a little behind the curve when compared with the quarry industry as far as the value of telemetrics is concerned. However, more of the manufacturers like Vermeer and Morbark and those are introducing more and more software applications to help the equipment owners to stay abreast of what's going on with their equipment. While this is not necessarily new technology, it's taken some time for customers to realize the value of having a reliable fleet management software product like Vermeer's Insight Fleet Advantage. Programs like Insight offer recyclers the ability to monitor equipment usage in real time. The software helps the maintenance team by notifying them of the need for routine maintenance or repair when needed. The programs are designed to work across platforms, giving management the ability to check on equipment location, operation, and history on PCs, smartphones, and tablets. And there's a list of all sorts of information that it can provide, like GPS location and any infinite number of people in your organization can see where the equipment is or how it's performing, or it can send warnings that it's malfunctioning, and you can get service to it quickly so that the damage losses are minimized. So that's what I have today. Thank you for listening in, and there's my information. If you need to be in contact, I'd be happy to talk with you and help you in any way I can.
All right, thank you, John. That was a great presentation. We're now going to field some questions for John. If you have a question, please enter them on the GoToWebinar dialog box. John, if you could maybe go back a few slides and get on the links to the YouTube channels or
okay.
YouTube videos. But I guess if you just Google the company's name, if you get on their website, can you get these off their website?
Yes.
Okay. So if you just
I got these off of YouTube.
Okay. So I guess if you just probably gonna be copy all that.
I had uploaded my video to YouTube in order to try to run it for our series here, and we weren't able to get it to run from YouTube either. So.
Okay. All right. That's the only request we had, is to go back to that slide.
Okay.
So we'll wait a couple seconds here for any more questions. Okay. Well, we're gonna close up the webinar now. Again, this webinar, like all the webinars in this series, has been recorded and will be made available via YouTube links to both the National Recycling Coalition and Recycling Market Center websites. And if possible, we'll put these links on our YouTube channel. That way you can access them that way also. So thanks again for joining us. We hope you'll join us for next month's webinar, and please visit the NRC and RMC websites for schedule updates. Thanks again, John, and thanks everybody for attending, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.